showtime. Dynamite Download. Welcome to Dynamite Download, your source for positive coverage of all elite wrestling.
This is what pro wrestling should feel like.
I told you guys, positive energy.
I think that created a little moment in itself.
You're saying I have a better record than Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, and now I'm going to have to wrestle them.
I've never seen someone able to break down like wrestling like he does.
That punk, that long-haired hippie freak.
My real story does connect with a lot of people.
So that you need to be careful in the locker room.
I definitely think that women's wrestling has been elevated.
And with the loss of Brody, I feel like we were just kind of a little bit directionless.
I was like deep diving into like cults.
Raw horse.
Raw horse?
Oh my God.
Amazing.
I had to smack him around a few times to fully gain his respect.
You said that in front of the voice of a generation?
Versus Frankie's match.
Awesome.
This podcast is, quite frankly, the drizzling shit, if I'm being quite honest.
There's day spread positivity about AEW.
Welcome to Dynamite Download.
Welcome to Dynamite Download. Rest in peace, Spaceman, by the way. Rest in peace, Ace from the group Kiss. Rest in peace. And up, looks like, and of course, the WWE Fed is trying to sabotage this podcast by messing with SBD's microphone. Apparently, I tell you, first they're messing with Andrade's no compete clause, and now they're messing with SBD's no speak clause.
You there? Test.
Now we got you. I got
to turn up the volume if that works too. First it was unplugged. Now I didn't even spin the volume on the bottom. But glad you got your shirt, Steven. And yes, the sabotage is running wild all across the internet about the whole Andrade saga with the non-compete. I mean, could you imagine if that first off, how does a company like AEW kind of just do they just trust Andrade, or did they just oversee it? How do you miss that if there is that little fine print?
I think it was one of those things where the Fed didn't, and again, I'm not bashing the Fed itself. I think there's TKO. I think there's suits involved and stuff that's shady. I think they were putting their money that they weren't going to sign Andrade. Because they acted like they didn't care. They're like, oh, whatever, we don't care. And so Tony Khan's like, all right, you guys don't care. I'm gonna hire him and put him in a program with Kenny Omega. And they're like, what? Oh, well, wait, no, hold on. He's got this. So yeah, it's kind of like when you dump a nasty ex-girlfriend and she says she doesn't care, but then you meet somebody new and then suddenly it's like they want all these demands on you. Yeah, so it's 100%. To me, it sounds pretty snaky. And again, I love a lot of the wrestlers on WWE. I love I think the program has gotten a lot better. You know, I still think I prefer AEW over it. And in a lot of ways, especially the cinematic stuff that we had on Dynamite, I'm sure we'll talk about. But I just, I think there's a lot of shadiness, and I think it's with anytime you get corporations like TKO or whatever, or you get, it's the same with movies. Whenever the suits start getting involved, they look at money, they don't look at entertainment, and that's when things get shady. But anyways. Andrade, who will come back to AEW first? Andrade, Kota Ibushi, or Ruby Soho? I think Ruby will be back.
Well, you could add Wardlow to that. You could add DMD to that as well. You could even add Jericho to that, because we were talking off air of the Jericho saga. I do not want to see him go. Like you mentioned, and I'm with you on the same position. It was he was definitely a pivotal person in terms of why I started watching AEW from day one. Like, you know,
Yep.
it was important that he had that name carried over to the beginning of AEW. Obviously, like other star powers, the founding fathers, the elite, Kenny Omega, and all that was great. But like, I wasn't as familiar with obviously Jericho's work, which he is a international star. And so if he wants to ride off to the sunset and do what he wants to do over at the Fed, I mean, more power to him. He did it. He had definitely would be a Hall of Famer in AEW if they ever had a Hall of Fame, and a Hall of Famer in WWE, which is very impressive. So I don't want to see him go. And selfishly, I would love to have him stay in AEW so we can do the Jericho cruise with all our AEW buddies.
Yeah, it's kind of like we literally missed the boat on
I know,
Jericho
right?
cruise. If that's the case, I think that's going to be kind
Right.
of interesting. I was
going to be if he signs a WWE and that Jericho cruise happens, it's going to be so like Disney World. Like you're going to pay $5 million for like a hug from someone, and
if TKO gets involved, it's going to be silly. Here, I'm gonna pull this up here. Just share the screen. I know we got more to talk about, but I do want to talk about that too. But yeah, if you look on the right, like you said, this is a year out, like we were talking about. But there's not any AEW talent on this, and usually they announce some AEW talent before then. So I don't know if this is kind of a push me pull you kind of negotiation tactic with Tony Khan, but doesn't look like.
I mean, like I said as well, like a year is a long time to pre-book something, so I'm not too concerned of what could happen from then to now. I mean, we're over a year actually. It's November of the cruise 2026, so I'm hoping that over the next 3 to 6 months we figure out what the heck Jericho's doing. By the end of the year, they say his contract's up, and then I mean, he could even go do a quick deal at WWE possible, and then by the time the cruise comes, he's like free reign to pick whoever. I don't know, but that to the left there, this is what we've been calling for. This is what we've been waiting for. Finally, she's hit that mark of breaking Jade Cargill's record, the longest reigning TBS champion of all time in the AEW. Well deserved, well earned. 10 belts. Monet has done it. That is a long time to have the belt, and I know she's fighting today, right now in CMLL. As of right now, she's not on the card for tomorrow night. Rightfully so. I mean, it's busy and a lot going on.
Yeah,
but it's curious. Like we could talk about it on next week's show. Like who's going to step up now? Now that I feel like the title's more vulnerable now that she finally hit it. As we're getting closer, 100 days out, 150 out, 50 out, you're like, no way she's losing it. She's going to have great matches, but there's no way she's losing it. Now it's vulnerability for the title. And so who's going to step up to challenge her?
Exactly. And there were 2 milestones she hit. And the one we have been talking about, of course, is Jade Cargill's record. The other is now she is now called Ultimo Monet.
Right. I like it.
She now has that she's 10 belts, and she, that was the Ultimo Dragon record. And I think that was the other thing she wanted to do. But now now she's vulnerable in this, from the standpoint is there's no more records for her to try to go for. So now she can start to lose those belts. And I saw some people argue, some of those belts are meaningless. I'm like, come on, every title, and I actually like that she kind of, she's bringing prestige to it. If Mercedes Moné showed up at my local independent show, Next Up, by the way, Next Up Wrestling's freaking awesome. It's the local Virginia one, and it was fantastic. I had a great time. But if she showed up to beat Jade Onyx for the women's title and took that title, it gives prestige to the Next Up Wrestling.
Exactly, 100%.
It gives them viewer. They're like, people are like, wow, I want to go check this out because Mercedes Moné might be showing up at this next thing. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. And then we're about to see the crash out. We're about to see now. Here's my question, everybody. We know the crash out is coming. She's not going to be able to hold on to all these belts.
Right?
Will she lose the TBS title first or last as far as she starts to lose these other belts?
Well, given the landscape of what's going on, it seems like she's going to be holding it. It's TBS might be near the end, but it makes a valid thing to kind of be the trickle effect. And like you said, yeah, it doesn't matter big or small promotion. Okay, yes, AEW is a cruise ship, and some of these other promotions are little dinghies, rowboats, but they're all rising the tide together when she's a part of them. So that's what, like you said, I love about it. And so I don't know. It's something that's going to be such a fun saga of her losing those one by one, and maybe someone is going to consistently cost her ones. Like you see Athena show up, going to cost her one or two of those titles, and ultimately take the TBS away. I would like that to kind of protect Monet in a way, and sort of instead of like losing to someone more on an independent scene, kind of clean, So if you have someone that is going to eventually dethrone her, cost some of those titles, I like that kind of play.
And I can see her becoming more and more like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, where the more belts she loses, the more precious the TBS title becomes, and she's like, because she's already starting to look at it like, she's already giving that look on her face. So she's going to be so like fighting it and protect. I think it's a great saga. And eventually when Mercedes does lose the TBS title at some point, she will. She is in a position where she doesn't need the title. So she's going to definitely be a long-standing wrestler there. But I think it's going to be fun to watch. Another bit of news. Can we talk about it? A little, I would say rumor mill, but definitely a bit of news. I was feeling a certain kind of way with the absence of the Gun Club.
Oh, yes, this is interesting.
We haven't even seen Juice or Austin on our TV. Colton's been out and all this, and of course Ace Austin, is kind of joining the Gun Club here. But on October 16th, this was yesterday.
Yep.
This is Switchblade Jay White. He's got pinned. He still has pinned from 2023, the Bang Bang Gang. But if you look down, his most recent tweet, it's the first tweet he's tweeted in months. He just goes, "Ready?" ? So
yes, please.
Are we going to see the Switchblade at WrestleDream? Are we going to have to wait till Full Gear? But the Switchblade is returning. His return is imminent. And with Juice and Austin and Ace Austin, and then when Colton comes back, the Bang Bang Gang is going to be guns freaking up. And I want them to run roughshod. I want to see them. I want Gun Club versus Death Riders, whatever.
I was just going to say, like, where do you want him to go? Because, Jay White is main event material for sure. But, and there's that video circulating around of them taking out Darby. They could come to Darby's aid, which would be interesting. They don't have beef really with the Death Riders at the moment, but I would love for the Bang Bang Gang to feud with the Death Riders. After beyond this with Darby, like he doesn't have much backup, with the Death Riders right now, especially with the ops kind of doing their own thing in a sense.
Yep.
So
they're all taken care of. Imagine, and I was wondering about this, and we got to talk about the cinematic. Apparently, last Dynamite was directed by Chris Nolan or Zack Snyder or something, because there was a lot of it was really cool, some scenes there. But when Darby was crawling to the ring, he was by himself, and he's had all that stuff, where he's, you can't kill me, Moxley kind of thing. Imagine, if you will, imagine that Darby finally fights Moxley. It's just everything's coming after him, and all of a sudden you hear, "Shing!"
Oh gosh!
And then you see, and it's not just Jay White, but it's like the Gun Club. I mean, obviously Colton. Hopefully he's healed, but if he's not, we'll at least have Ace Austin, Austin Gunn, and Juice, and of course the Switchblade, and that would be freaking awesome. I'd love to see it.
It's I would love for a return too. I'm just trying to figure out what the best would be. It's such a good pop, and I like the social media aspect of the little tease of that. Like, ooh, okay, all right. I like that Jay White did this. I mean, you looking at this, like this scene, this whatever cinema that we saw on Dynamite last night or on Wednesday was one of the best things I've seen them produce. Like the over the shoulder, like the top picture there with Darby, and in a jail cell or in a jail, visiting center, like so creative, and it was so perfect and done so well. Like I thought I was watching a horror movie and not a wrestling show in a good way. And what the Pac played his role perfectly too, and what they did with the blood on the glass. And I just loved. Oh gosh, man! I was just like blown away with that. Rewatched it a couple times. It was so good.
It just hit me. The director I was trying to think of, David Fincher. He's the guy that did Seven. He's the guy that did a lot of those kind of movies where it's got these intense monologues, dialogue scenes.
Yeah.
And this was such a great. This was better than half the crap that's out there in the theaters now or on Netflix.
Oh, for sure.
This was great. And definitely has that Dark Knight vibe where when Batman and the Joker are facing off, that kind of stuff. It was fantastic. Shout out also to Toni Storm and her back and forth with Statlander, because
that's hilarious.
She's bringing the best out of Statlander's promos now. Statlander had such an incredible promo. And Full Tilt Deb and I had an interesting conversation Wednesday night. I want to throw this to the chat and definitely to you if you don't mind. Like, we were talking about the Moxley rub, where like there's what wrestlers have the rub where they get into a program with you, whether they're on your side or against you, and it elevates that other wrestler. Obviously, Moxley's definitely, there's a Moxley rub. You look at Powerhouse Hobbs. When Powerhouse Hobbs went from a tier 0 guy to he joined Moxley and then turned then joined Taz and all that. There's always been you could tell that Moxley has some guys that he likes, and he's here for promote. Like I don't think he's favorites. I mean, I think there's guys that he feels like can really elevate wrestling, and he gives them the rub every time. Powerhouse Hobbs goes after him, Moxley sells like, oh crap, I'm about to get my ass beat. I think there's a lot of wrestlers there's wrestlers that when Moxley gets in a program, I actually do think, contrary to what other people are thinking, I kind of like Garcia with the Death Riders. I actually think that elevates
it. Works. It definitely works
for him.
That's the rub he's giving Garcia.
Exactly. There's that rub there. My question is, besides Moxley, are there other wrestlers that give a rub, if you will, by getting in a program with them? I would argue Toni Storm. I would argue from a wrestling standpoint, maybe not necessarily promo, but I think from a wrestling standpoint, Chris Statlander has elevated everyone she wrestles with. But I think that Toni Storm has elevated everybody. The Toni Storm rub has elevated every opponent that she's had. So, SBD, who would you say is the has that rub magic? And would you say Jericho's one of them?
That's the number one who came to mind. And I thought back when he lost to Action Andretti clean, and look at the stuff he did with the Jericho Appreciation Society and obviously the Inner Circle, like those rubs that he was giving those people, the stars or those, talent. I would even go as far as saying Mercedes Moné as well right now, especially with her rise as she is. Callis is a great one too. I mean, look at who he's been recruiting. Moxley for sure is. I mean, he's given Darby the Darby rub, even though Darby doesn't necessarily need it, but he is uplifting him even more. That he gave it to Yuta. I would argue even people who, even like in Ricochet's short amount of time, he may not be like taking people under their wing and doing it, but he's selling like crazy for so many people, and that shows a lot.
Putting the Gates of Agony with him like that has elevated them. Yeah, I feel like that's that, and we're gonna talk. I think we'll talk about that, but that has been such a huge elevation right there. Elevation.
Yeah. But I mean, A lot of stuff happened on Dynamite. In interest of time, maybe we should start a little bit about our WrestleDream. But before we do that, and then we can circle back to Dynamite, a given time frame. But we got to give a shout out to the cleaner himself, as it was a unanimous top performer of the night. And I loved what he had in this trios match. He looked in his top-notch form, and even Callis said it. And it was one of the things that kind of was the cherry on top for my top performer. He's like, he looks like the best he has, like in pure Kenny Omega form, or some kind of line like that. I was like, yeah, absolutely. And this helps protect him too, being in tag matches and trios matches, but he still gets that time to shine. And he got such a hero's entrance as he deserved, which was awesome with all the pyro and Justin Roberts.
Yes. I mean, I missed the and now he is the
I know, right?
I missed that, but that's fine. I'd rather see this Kenny back. This was the closest to Kenny pre-diverticulitis, taking time off that we've seen in a while, I think, and it's been great. And I know Kenny's selling the diverticulitis. The last time I saw Kenny in this form was when he wrestled New Japan, when he wrestled Gabe Kidd in New Japan in that incredible return match. So I think I like this. Granted, they probably were planning, maybe they were planning Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks at WrestleDream, and Kota Ibushi. Hope
I saw rumors of the Golden Lovers versus Alexander and Hechicero. Yo Soy Hechicero. That was rumors of that. But,
there may have been rumors for that for WrestleDream, and then leading to the Bucks and Golden Lovers at Full Gear, what have you. But now it does seem like it's pivoted a little bit. But from not just the in-ring, but Kenny is still such a I don't want to say savant, but such a he's a wrestling genius. He understands every aspect of it, the performance, the selling, the emoting in the ring, the way he kind of the whole story with him in the Bucks. And what I like too is they didn't just gloss over Jack Perry's part in sending Kenny Omega to the local medical facility.
Right.
So there was a trust issue, but by the end, Jack Perry had proven his trust, or had earned his trust back. And so
for now,
yeah. I know some people think that Jack Perry's wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that he's actually still a heel, but we'll see. What do you think? You think he is?
I mean, I guess we'll talk about that when we get to that Young Bucks Jurassic Express match. But there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with the Jurassic Express, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and maybe a couple of audibles being played too now that Ibushi's hurt. Yeah. But before we get into the WrestleDream, let's see where we're at, our standings. A lot has happened. It is tight in Season 7 right now of the draft. And we got a new leader, three-way tie for the leaderboard. Mindrunner, Bobby, and Aaron Loves Wrestling with 8 points. A three-way tie for second place, SPD Brett and Ranger Man. It is this is going to be interesting how they do how WrestleDream plays out. A lot of points at stake, plus the plus 3 points for our bingo card, which we're going to be selecting now. So the winner of the bingo card gets plus 3 points, and that is pivotal 3 points for anybody on this board.
Yeah, I mean, you like if Court or Full Tilt Deb got 3 points, boom, they're at 6, right? And that's without any other points. Exactly. Just boom. So if they went just winning the bingo, give them a boost.
Boom, get it right. Boom. Yeah, 3 points. Boom. 3 points.
I'm surprised they're not wrestling, but they're going to wrestle at Full Gear. I'm sure it's 8.
Yeah, it seems that way.
So
in their backyard, they'll get good pops, and they might have a former enemies reuniting. QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ might be on a team versus somebody. Rumors of that. So WrestleDream, 8 matches and 3 tailgate, possibly 4. If I don't know if this Hook Eddie Kingston match is going to be a match or what, but we're not gonna count that as a match. But they said they're going to be there.
I did put it as a possible pick, but I mean we don't know who the opponent's going to be. But
we'll leave that out for now.
All right, we'll talk about it.
No one's going to bet against Hook and Eddie Kingston.
Well, Unless the other team is at like the debut is some badass team, but yeah.
You'd think it'd
I
be
don't
more on like a main card thing if it was like a badass team getting a win or something. But we know how these pre-shows definitely want to get the crowd going.
Yeah, I think Steven's right. It's probably going to be the frat party,
Frat party.
or the primetime athlete. What are they? The primetime athletes.
Premier.
Whatever they were, huh?
Premier athletes.
Yeah, Premier Mike
or MXN, or like MXN or something.
I want it to be MXN. That would be fantastic to see them. I want them on our screen more. Plus, I want more. We need more Dalton Castle with the Outrunners. Please.
Yes. What the heck?
Don't tease us. You're giving
Don't
us.
Don't pump the brakes on that so soon.
Cojones Azul. You're giving us Cojones Azul. Grande. Cojones Azul.
I got Bobby's picks in the.
Oh, you got all. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, shall we start off?
Let's do it.
All right. We're kicking off the Saturday Tailgate Brawl. We've got Mega Bad versus Smile the Wrath. Wrath, Smile, feel the wrath and smile anyways. And this is definitely this has got to be the last little test the waters for the tag team titles. So,
for sure.
You want me to kick it off with this one?
Yes, please do.
I think Mega Bad has to win this because this you've got to make Mega Bad a formidable villain tag team if you're going to eventually start some kind of tag team tournament or going after the titles.
Yeah.
Mega Bad needs to be formidable. And you can't even have Penelope eat the pen. I think in this case, I love her to pieces, but I think Harley's going to eat the pen. And but it's going to continue to. I think this is the first time first of many. We're going to see this this matchup because I think we're going to see this again in whatever kind of tournament that they do for the women's tag titles. So I'm going with Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne, Team Mega Bad, and that's actually who I think should win the inaugural tag team titles, and then let Ty J or somebody chase after it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they. Well, I also like the idea of the women's tag team titles being OGs. Like, so Ty J would be a really good feel-good moment, babyface and happy moment. The Bobby's got Bane as well. Steven's got picking Willow and Harley. I'm picking Willow and Harley as well, the baby faces. And they could still revisit this. I feel like you won't lose momentum out of Mega Bad at that. They could still be dominant in the tag team title tournament if they're going to do it. I mean, it feels like they got to do tag team title tournament. Court's got the Wrath, the Team of Wrath.
They did if they did a Continental Classic out of it or some kind, but I hope they don't do something cheap where they do just a tag team battle royal. It's got to be a tournament. You got to get
for sure.
And this needs to lead to extra time for the women on TV, not just an either or. But we'll see. Do we have Ranger Man, Brent, Cowboy, or Cray?
No, not yet. Ranger Man's on Instagram, but he said he'll be right back, so he'll send his picks in when he gets back.
All right, shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
All right. Party match. It's a party match in the house tonight. Yes, we got ourselves a party match and get the Conglomeration versus the Death Riders. SPD, what are you thinking?
I mean, Ishii's on my team, so I got to go with my team and the Tribal Fruits. I'm going with the good guys. Even though I was looking at the right side, I'm like, oh gosh, the talent on the right side, there's no reason that side should be losing. So it would be interesting if all the Death Riders lost tomorrow. That means they would lose this match and Moxley potentially losing too. So, or the story could be flipped. But I'm going to go with the good guys, Conglomeration.
All right. I'm once again, I'm disagreeing. I think it's Death Riders. They got to get a W here. They got to get a W on this one. They got to stay, especially Daniel Garcia's evolution. And I think that Cassidy, the guys on the left, they can take an L. They've been taking some L's, and still be who they are. Whereas I think I think the team on the right needs to stay dominant for as long as this Death Riders storyline goes. So I think it's going to be Death Riders.
I mean, I agree with you. Storyline purposes, I think
Full Tilt Deb said incoming Full Tilt Deb. Just type that in the chat.
Okay, but I was coming for something and you were talking and I
Okay.
was playing around
All right. Anyways, go what's your
press?
teams. Well, Full Tilt Deb said that what if all the Death Riders lose and they break up because of that?
Oof.
But I don't
that'd
know.
be or there just be some kind of turmoil within then. I don't like Garcia just joined and Pac just returned, and they are definitely on fire right now in terms of just like unity. And so I think it would be interesting for all of them to lose. I do, and then you could kind of have them not like a reset, but something going on.
Yep.
But we got Bobby with Death Riders as well. Steven with Death Riders.
Yep.
You got that. FTD, I think she said Death Riders. Roderick taking the pin. I can't wait for Ishii to go blow for blow with Claudio. Uppercut, forearm.
Yeah. All right, so we still don't have the other four guys?
No.
All right.
We'll get them.
Yes, we will. All right, it's going to be interesting. Look, we got still some. This has been interesting so far. We don't have a unanimous match so far.
I know.
All right. Ooh. I've given a lot of thought about this.
That's a tough one. And I'm interested, someone posted about like WrestleDream's full of a bunch of rematches, which is true, but it still doesn't matter. It's still great storytelling.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be an injury spot or like a new addition for Hurt Syndicate. Something's got to happen here for it to really be meaningful. I don't know, man.
Do you think Cedric Alexander's gonna join?
Well, I don't know if it's Cedric or so. I feel like someone's got to join during this, after it, before the match. If like they do an injury spot with MVP.
What if Keith Lee shows up?
That'd be sweet. Kingpin Keith Lee, as you said.
Yep. Now, I
think
Keith
Lee throwing Ricochet across the ring.
Yeah, just was it Beal? The Bealing him, doing the throwing him like Jazzy Jeff on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Out the window or whatever.
I've been torn on this. I really like. The Hurt Syndicate needs to stay dominant, but I think this is going to be the last match that MVP wrestles for a while. I don't think it's the last match ever. I think it's not his retirement, but I almost feel like what they were waiting to do something at All Out. And they decided instead they couldn't do something that they wanted. Now they're in a position where they can do the gimmick or whatever. So that's why they're having this rematch. But Tornado Trios, there's no DQ, right? So like
I don't think
Cedric or Keith Lee or somebody shows up and interferes, there's no DQ. I could see. I hate to bet against these guys because I love their success.
It's hard to bet against either guys.
I gotta go we hurt people. I would love
there could be a swerve where the Demand recruits another person too.
Oh, imagine what if the Demand recruits Cedric Alexander? Like Cedric Alexander shows up, everybody just assumes because he was with the Hurt Business in WWE that he joins them, and then he turns on them.
I like that.
I don't know, man. But I'm going Hurt Syndicate on this one. I can't go against the Hurt Syndicate in this, but yep.
FTD is going with the Demand.
All right.
And the rest of us are going with Hurt Syndicate. So we got myself, Bobby, Court, Steven, Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people. We hurt people. We hurt people.
All right, and everybody, see, here's the thing: Full Tilt Deb. This could be the one where Full Tilt Deb gets the bingo, because I could just as easily see a case for the Demand winning this one.
Right, this is a coin flip for sure.
Yep. All right, so we move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
Wow.
This is another coin flip as well.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking. You got to have the leader of the triad of taintness or whatever, the triad of toxicity, whatever, the triad of madness.
Triad of taintness, yes.
Yes, they got it. They got to stay dominant, and Jamie Hayter's great and all, but Thekla's got to get the W here, and stay dominant. Her faction. She's the leader of that faction. Expect Jill. Well, plus this is just giving us a taste before we get to blood and guts. So
right.
The baby face has got to lose, but to make blood and guts seem more palatable.
I'm with you on that.
If Hayter wins, then why are we doing blood and guts? So yeah, I think Thekla gets the W here. Are you with me on that?
I'm with you on that, and Steven's picking Thekla too, and so is Bobby. I agree. So it's smart long-term booking, because right around the corner in less than a month is blood and guts. So you could have Thekla win, then beat down Hayter, and then you have like a full-out brawl, which is kind of like teases to blood and guts. And that almost will be like set the stage. There you go. Set the stage for who's going to be. FTD's going with Jamie. She's trying to get some points. She's trying to be bold.
Yes, she is. She's trying. She's
That's
going
good.
for it. You've got to do that.
But I would like to see Thekla win, a brawl ensue, and then they're like, all right, I accept your blood and guts, because the commentary team said that they never officially accepted her challenge about blood and guts. So I would like to see that get that momentum for that going. What
did Bobby go with?
Thekla.
All right, look at this. So a lot of toxicities, but Full Tilt Deb could be the one, another surprise. This could be, and I can see a case for Jamie Hayter, like you said.
100%.
100%.
Go both ways.
Oh my goodness. All right. I don't see Jurassic Express losing this. I think the Bucks losing money. I think that is part that in itself. Whoever they face, I think that just makes it even more entertaining. But I think the Jurassic Express is winning this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Especially this is only their second match together as a true tag team. They had that one match last week. They had trios 2 nights ago, and so Jurassic Express. But this is going to be one of those that I feel like there's more to the story that's going to happen with this. Which storyline purposes, I'm really intrigued on what's going to happen out of here, and whether it be Kenny Omega come out, what's going to happen with that, anything with the Don Callis family. So I like it. I like this one. I'm excited for this one, and I love a down in the dumps Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And they have been after losing their purse that they won with the Death Riders, where Moxley gave them all the money. Now it's all gone, trying to get their money back. But $500K on the line, that's a lot of money on the line for sure for those guys for redemption. But yeah, you got to keep that momentum going for Jurassic Express for now. But yeah, like you said, I feel like they're really tweening for, are they heels? Are they what? I mean, even that first match back when they were at Daily's Place, he took the turnbuckle off. And he's still in the darker gear, which I like. And I'm curious where it's going to go.
Yeah. And, he does that kind of wink smile. That smile.
I know, right?
That Jack Perry smile, it's not wholesome. I've seen kids that are up to something in my classroom. They got like, what'd you do?
Smirks, kind of exactly.
Is Bobby on the this is this going to be the first unanimous?
So far, Bobby is on that, and I feel like this could be as odd as it is. Let's say this was like 4 months down the line, this would be more split. But because it's so fresh of the return of Jurassic Express, you don't want to suck any wind out of any sails of them because they're back to being that feel good moment on AEW with their theme song and the return. It was as we talked about, such a huge pop when they returned and that theme song hit was one of the moments of the night for All Out. So keep that momentum going. It'd be some really smart to do so.
All right, Jungle Life. All right, all right. This is where I lose the bingo. Let me just say this before we make our picks. I'm just going to say this. I'm thinking out loud. How awesome would it be for Mark Briscoe to win this?
Oh, I would absolutely love it. Selfishly, Fletcher on my team, I want him for the point, but also selfishly because I think he's doing amazing stuff, as we all can unanimously agree about that. And the momentum just continue to rise and rise and rise. But I think this is one of those win-wins. Like Fletcher wins, okay, momentum's going. We're all happy because he's turning into this star in front of our eyes. If Briscoe wins, then it's like awesome, man. This is a huge accolade that he has. He defeated the Protostar. And so to me, it's a win-win. I can't lose on this one. But I'm going Fletcher. And so is Bobby. And so is Courtney. And Steven. He's calling match of the night. I like that bold prediction.
I have no doubt this is going to be an incredible banger. What did my wife say before she said Protostar? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Fletcher. You're here and yeah, I hate I'm sorry, Mark. I gotta go with Fletcher on this
if
one.
This was 2 months from now, would you pick Mark Briscoe? Or do you think just because it's still early in his reign?
I'm not bashing WrestleDream, but WrestleDream is a lesser pay-per-view than Full Gear. If this was at Full Gear, I would pick Mark Briscoe. Because by then Fletcher will have had a long enough TNT title reign. But no, I don't think it's time for Fletcher to drop. I think this is going to be a banger. Yeah, Fletcher's going to win.
Yeah, which is like I firmly believe this is a win-win situation for us fans. Yeah. But you have All In setting the bar.
Yeah.
And then you followed up with All Out, which was Forbidden Door, right? Yeah, Forbidden Door, which was like just below there. And then I feel like you follow out with All Out, which was like up there too. Yeah. And so you have these like pay-per-views that are like so amazing. WrestleDream is going to deliver because AEW always does deliver their pay-per-views, but in terms of like excitedness and depth of the card, it's not nearly as those last three-peats that we just witnessed. But then you just get back to the drawing board essentially, and you get to Full Gear, which is going to be one of the OG pay-per-views. Yeah. So you got to have some great stuff there.
Yeah. I have to go with Fletcher. Yeah.
We forgot the tailgate match, the Jet Speed FTR.
I thought I put that in.
You have that?
Oh, I can add it real quick. Hang on.
But we should talk that tag team. We'll talk double tag team. We got FTR versus Jet Speed, and then we'll also talk about the Brodito tag team champions challenging Okada and Takeshita.
Let's get this one in here first too. We'll go. Here we'll go duplicate slide. Bear with me for a moment. We had that, didn't we? Yep. Here we go. I apologize. I thought I had that one.
Oh no,
Here,
all
we'll
good.
put,
I just happened to write down all these ones because I'm making our little
here we go.
tally sheet.
Dude, should we go ahead with this one?
Yeah.
I love Jet Speed, but man, FTR is winning this one. I don't see they're not they've got to win, or do they lose? Does Christian Cage cost them this match?
That's a good take by both you and Steven. I didn't even think of that. Christian showing up at Jet Speed. I feel like Christian is going to be intertwined with the Nick Wayne stuff. Courtney's going FTR.
Steven, are you saying Jet Speed?
Oh, that's tough. So mine and Courtney FTR. Bobby's going FTR.
Okay. What about you, SPD?
Well, I'm going to say FTR just because I already have the two other matches on the Tailgate Brawl as the babyface winning. And you got all heels winning the Tailgate Brawl.
Yeah.
And so does Bobby as well. So you're gonna suck the air out of the crowd. The air out of the crowd.
Make them hungry for a babyface win.
You're right. So then you kick off the show with like the next one we were going to say Brodito for the babyface win there.
Well, I'm going to say
Steven's going Jet Speed.
Hey, Full Tilt Dad, Jet Speed or FDR? All right, she's going Jet Speed as well.
Ranger Man's going FTR.
Okay. Oh, we have his picks?
He's not. He's back.
Okay. Do we want to go back through with his stuff, or should we?
I don't have all his picks. I'll ask for him right now.
All right.
Then I'll let you know when they're coming.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's talk about Brodito versus Takeshita and Okada. Well, Brodito is winning, keep retaining the title.
Sure.
They're phenomenal. But this is when the chink in the armor, the crack in the foundation, this is when we see, I mean, they're being overtly obvious about it now. When he pressed the wrong button. This is when Takeshita, Okada's going to blame Takeshita for losing. And of course, Takeshita's going to blame Okada. And it's going to be this battle. And at first, Callis is not going to choose a side. But this is eventually going to lead to babyface Takeshita turning on the Don Callis family. So, yeah. There's no way they win the tag team titles from Brodito.
Yeah, this was the real reason this match is happening, because they already beat him once, and then you saw the tug and pull of everything going on, and now it's going to be this is where you really got to put the gas to the breakup, and so yeah. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's definitely going to be one of the best matches, I think, in AEW. Hopefully they can end the year with an awesome. How serious the Bandito? Bandito is still like wrestling on all these other shows, these independent shows and everything. Yeah. I'm seeing his stories, like he's going crazy and all over the and maybe it was just a work. I don't know. I got all of Ranger Man's picks too. He's picking for this one, Brodito, which I think this one might be a universal pick for Brodito, but because no one really thinks that these two are going to be able to get on the same page tomorrow at WrestleDream.
One of those, it's going to be one of those hell of a matches, but we know the outcome, Are you going Brodito?
I'm going Brodito. FTD is Bobby, Court, Steven. This is everyone so far. Ranger Man. You want his picks for the other ones?
Yeah, let's go. We'll go back through. Let's get his picks. Let's go back to Megan Bain versus, and then Mega Bad versus Willow and
Harley. He's got
Willow and Harley. Okay.
Yep.
And let me jump out. All right, Conglomeration versus Death Riders.
Death Riders.
All right. Demand versus Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt. We hurt people.
We hurt people. All right. Tekla versus Hater.
Tekla.
All right. Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks.
He's got Bucks.
Ooh, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Fletcher versus Briscoe.
Fletch.
There we go. Give him a little mud mustache. He said FDR. All right. Okay. Here we go. The rematch. Statlander versus Tony Storm. SPD, what are you thinking?
You know, just to kind of beat a dead horse, as I was saying before, but the story at that four-way was, it's a four-way match, and now she's giving her the one-on-one to try to prove. So this is the one opportunity. This is the opportunity to prove and kind of give the stamp of approval from Tony to Statlander. Like, okay, now it's your turn to have the reign. And so I love what they. At first, I was like, okay, I wasn't too excited, but the last few weeks they really built this match to really fun and exciting. Yeah. And the shenanigans that, like you said in the top of the show, just like Tony uplifting Statlander and helping her out with a lot of promos. Almost Statlander was kind of like getting on Tony's level of like obnoxiousness promo.
Yeah.
And they did that backstage stuff and they're stripping and like all that. And like, let's do this in the ring. Like all this stuff is like and I like that they team together where they're not like drawing a line in the sand, like you're a babyface, you're a heel, turning someone heel, turning someone babyface, or whatever. But I quickly really, really enjoyed this build, and I wasn't on board at first. I was appreciative that they were going to have another match, but I was like, oh no, two baby faces. How are they going to make this story feel relevant and fun? And boy, did they ever. And so definitely Statlander is going to retain.
I love the pivot that they did with Statlander, where they were kind of making her heel. They were kind of toying with her in the Death Riders, but now I love this. She's a great champion. I do think that that Tony Storm was waiting for someone like Statlander to truly emerge, and she's stepping it up. It's the Tony Storm rub, and I feel like Statlander, she's been that in the ring physically, but now her promos are compelling. And I think that that's been a missing piece in Statlander for a while, and she's got it, and we saw it. It clicked. You could argue Tony Storm didn't click till she found the Timeless character, and she was starting to get it there when she lost the title the first time and started, throwing shoes, and that's what led to this evolution of this Tony Storm character. Statlander presents herself. Okay, Statlander presents herself as a champion now, much like Hangman now presents himself as the man, champion.
Right.
And I think that's where Statlander is. So yeah, she's retaining. This is the final little kiss on the forehead from Tony Storm before she goes off to do her next challenge. And I'd love to see who Statlander's next defense is going to be. It would be interesting to see who comes out of the woodwork for this, and I'd love to see her kind of take on maybe someone from overseas and a few other things, and maybe Shayna Baszler might be showing up. I don't know, but it's gonna be pretty cool.
Let me think who would come off the top of my head who would be cool to feud with. Yeah, anyone from Triangle Madness, anyone. Like you could bring like Deonna Purrazzo back too, like to compete as well. Like would be cool to have her face her for a while. But I think this is going to be one of the better matches of the night too. I'm excited. This is definitely one of the top three. I'm gonna Bozilla. Dang, that would be
yes, good gravy.
She had such a good outing in that match at Forbidden Door. It's so fun to watch.
Like 19 or 20 or something. Like she's young, and she's that hoss.
Right, Camille. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I like that court. I would love to see her back in AEW.
Do we have Bobby and Ranger Man or?
Oh yeah, Bob Ranger Man. Well, everyone's stat across the board so far.
Board? All right.
Minus our 3.
Yep. Minus those
Sheeta,
guys.
like that.
Sheeta needs to come. Apparently, Sheeta's got her visa or something, and she's going to be coming back soon. Oh my goodness! Yes, please. Good stuff. All right. I'm assuming Hanger's the main event, but this might be it. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. It's like, in theory, yes, the world title should be main event, but like this one to me is built more as a main event quality match.
Yeah.
With what they've all been doing and what's at stake. It's like, but also it's like, how do you follow this?
Oh, well, if anybody's going to follow it, it's Joe and Hanger, but yeah.
True. But I feel bad for whatever match follows this.
What shenanigans are going to happen at this also? What are we going to see? And how does this end with Darby saying I quit?
It doesn't. Like, you think Darby's going to lose?
I don't. I don't see that happening. I see Moxley quitting. And does that become the downfall of the Death Riders? Where, I mean,
Darby Ranger Man said I generally have no idea who wins this, and you have two of the toughest, stubbornest people in AEW in an I Quit match. I think you literally have to have someone say I quit without like with literally life on the line.
Moxley would hurt me and send me to the hospital in intensive care. Darby would kill me. So it's like, who do I want to die or do I want to be in intensive care for a year? Like,
I wonder if they do something where it's like Moxley's forced to quit to sacrifice his team. Where like Darby has them all like in a shark cage somewhere. He's going to drop them in a pool of sharks or something. He said, "Say I quit," or they're going in the sharks. Or,
sharks
something
with laser beams on their foreheads.
Exactly,
okay,
laser.
Okay, Mr. Moxley.
So I could see Darby holding someone hostage with a Molotov cocktail or something ridiculous, where Mox is almost like, as the leader of the Death Riders, you have to, protect your crew, and that way you quit. I don't see Moxley quitting out of pure pain or Darby quitting out of pure pain or suffering, either of them.
Because
other than
Darby
when it
has
happened
nobody.
True.
Darby has nobody. Moxley's got his, and it could be one of those things where like Darby's going to do something to Yuta unless Moxley submits, and Moxley doesn't.
Yeah.
Or Garcia, and they start to realize that how expendable they are to Moxley, and then maybe I don't know, but I just thought I was trying to think of what hasn't been done in wrestling, and I've got this insane spot that I don't know, like, what if they roll out a giant tub full of piranha? It's so stupid, but like, flesh eating, piranha, and threaten to throw somebody in there. I don't know. It's stupid, but there you go.
That's what I'm thinking. It's got to be something total off the wall, because neither of them are going to actually quit based on pure pain and suffering. Even though the all-in finish was perfect, because Moxley tapping out to literally being hanged by Hangman in the chain, and look where how fast he rebounded from that. Like, saying that.
And remember, wasn't it Darby that threatened to set Jack Perry on fire, and that's what led to, was it Matt Jackson that quit the Blood and Guts?
Oh yeah, we're there at the yes.
Yeah, he was gonna set. So do they do that finish again?
It's going to be something extreme and something with fire, because he's already had the flamethrower, Molotov cocktail. He lit the body bag on fire. Like,
does he threaten Renee Paquette?
That's what I was thinking too. But at the same time, Darby's not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Right. I thought about that, but I was like, wait, no, he wouldn't do that because like he's one of the biggest baby faces, and Ray Paquette is like the Rio of commentary, baby face. But you don't want to. He wouldn't go to that low. Vice versa, yes.
I don't.
I'm picking
see
Darby.
All right, you're going.
I don't
Darby.
see Darby losing. Darby's going with Ranger and Bobby as well. I don't see Darby losing. But yes, how it's going to play out is going to be very, very interesting.
I can't see. I can't see a scenario where Darby quits. I can't see that.
Right.
I got to go Darby.
Yeah.
What about everybody else?
Bobby, Ranger, Darby. Darby, Court.
Okay, crashed. Yep, Court. What about my wife? What did she say? Darby or Mox? Darby.
Wow, she's betting against her guy Mox.
Yeah, I just don't. I think we all. I don't.
It just makes sense. Darby lost the coffin match, and now he's going to win the I Quit. And then I think that's kind of like, well, what's interesting? Comments I saw from TK of like the blood and guts. Like someone said, are you going to do male and female at the same time? And they're possibly considering that. Wouldn't that be interesting? A male and female back to back blood and guts. That'd be tough for the crowd. It'd be like, woof.
Darby and the Bang Bang Gang versus the Death Riders. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then then you're not gonna put Jay White in a blood and guts match right after coming back from injury.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, you don't want to risk that too much.
What I was gonna say though is I don't know, there was a lot of hubbub about the comments made by Darby was interviewed by Ariel Hawaii or Hawani, whatever. And he made the comment how the locker room is great. It's very supportive, and that they got rid of a lot of cancer of people that didn't want to lose, they were more concerned with themselves than the better of the business.
Right.
And a lot of people assumed he meant CM Punk, and he didn't. In fact, he and CM Punk are very close friends. And I with all his flaws, I don't think CM Punk was refusing to lose. I think there was some anger management issues and stuff. I always felt like CM Punk was very passionate about the business, yet it was his way though. Like he felt like his way was the only right way and would get mad if people disagreed with him. But I don't think he was the type that he didn't want to lose. I think we kind of know, and two of my favorite wrestlers, but I think they went back to WWE and they didn't want to lose in AEW. And I think, and actually a third person that I know, she's been a Dynamite download favorite, but the more and more I've kind of heard some behind the scenes stuff, I'm not a fan of that one either. So yeah, I think it's cool that the AEW locker room seems more positive, and I feel like the AEW in general mindset is they're moving forward. They're really not giving WWE much of a thought anymore. They're more focused on their own product, and I love that. WWE still has an eye on them, but whatever. Good stuff.
Yeah, but stay in your lane and continue what you do, and you're gonna do good stuff, and that's what AEW I feel like has been doing. Main events, in theory. Well, this will be, if we're calling this the main event, so everyone give your total time of the main event too for the tiebreaker. I'm looking at our little picks, and there's a lot of people, a lot of mixed picks as well. So tiebreaker still is definitely heavily impacted, but Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, another notch on Hangman's page of high talent caliber wrestlers he's defending against. Like I said, Moxley, MJF, Samoa Joe, Fletcher, like that alone is, insane wrestlers that he's going to go against. And it's just the tip of the iceberg of his reign, but he's going to Hangman cowboy shit. And it's going to be interesting because this crowd is going to be pretty split. And so, as I said before, after this, you really need to start putting Hangman against some true heels, so you don't have any split crowds. You need to uplift your babyface, uplift your champ, 100%. That's why the MJF feud works so good.
Yep.
Fletcher one works so good. This one is going to be awesome overall because Joe's just fantastic with him. But Jay White returns to stare down Hangman. Whew, so Bang Bang Gang going back to heel. But they were ready for a feud, and I would be all here for that. Joe gets up, actually shakes his hand, and congratulated him for the win. And then you hear that, like you said, minor ching.
Yep.
I would love that, Steven. Oof. Total time, Hanger in 29 minutes. Courtney, 28 minutes for FTD.
I'm going to do 32. Give me 32 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put Cowboy his pick. I don't think.
Yeah, right. That's probably the only one we know for sure.
That. I think we can assume his pick on this one.
Well, regardless if it's main event or not, we could just total time for this.
Yeah. Court,
all right, I got
going Hanger?
Everyone's got Hanger that I know so far.
Okay. Bobby, Hanger. Ranger, Hanger.
Oh, I got to get Bobby's total picks or main event time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can assume Cowboy's going. There'd be a cold day in hell if Cowboy picks Samoa Joe over Hangman on this one.
I know, right?
That ain't happening.
I'm going to go my main event time is going to be 30-30.
Okay. 30 for 30.
But I don't know. I don't think Joe has the stamina to go too long, so I don't feel like it's going to be too long of a match. No offense to him, but that's just his style. No. That's great.
Yeah, meat sweats.
Well, and I think the Derby match is going to go over, so this one sadly might have a little bit of a shortened effect.
You saw the back and forth with LFI and Hanger. I'd love to see Hanger and Roosh in a program together.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
sign us up.
I don't feel like they've given Roosh enough TV time at this point, but you could build this up for Full Gear, Roosh versus Hangman.
Yeah.
Is there a way? Because, with Samoa Joe being in the ops and Hobbs being like trying to keep the peace, where somehow things go down and Hobbs gets into a program with Hangman.
Wow.
Is Hobbs ready? Is Hobbs ready for that?
I don't want Hobbs to go to heel. As we know, we love him so much, how good he is with his fans. And he's established himself so well as a babyface.
He couldn't be a heel, but could he still? Yeah, but then you're right about Hanger needs at Full Gear. Hanger needs to go against not only a heel, but also a threatening heel, a heel that you could see winning the belt from him. And Hobbs, I don't want him to be a heel, but I'd love to see Hobbs in the main event scene again.
Yeah.
Going after a heel. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. I mean, I think we're all sure Hanger's winning, but in the unlikely event Samoa Joe retains and he refuses and he goes full heel, does he then mess with Hobbs to the point where now Hobbs goes after him? I don't know. No, I don't know. Do we break up the ops at WrestleDream?
I honestly thought LFI was going to win on Dynamite, and that was going to kind of be a foreshadowing what's the next direction of all the guys are going to go. But I almost would long-term picture like Jay White in the Bang Bang Gang, as much as I love him, babyface turning heel, going against Hangman. It's tough because a return you always want to cheer for. So while it'd be awesome to have that face-to-face with Hangman and him insert himself right in the main event of picture right away, I also love the Bang Bang Gang as baby faces, especially Juice back, and now Jay White's coming back, and just the energy they bring. But also they could work as heels really well as they've done. And if they do a program with Hangman for the world title up into Full Gear, and then if White doesn't win, then they could get the trios belts back or something like that. A lot to ponder, and hopefully Jay White comes back sooner than later. In terms of AKA tomorrow, please.
Either that, or we find out the true leader of the Death Riders shows up, makes his presence known, and Marco Stunt issues a challenge for Full Gear. It's going to happen. He's been back in the weight room. He's been ready for this. Oh my goodness!
The only downfall of this pay-per-view is that it starts at 8.
Yeah, I mean WWE. Why couldn't you try to schedule something at 8 o'clock so that Tony Khan would move this to 2? You know,
right? Exactly.
This is gonna be awesome, though. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I know. I can't wait to talk to you next week about it after it's all wrapped up. Yeah. And we're gonna have. I'm looking at this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 points plus a bingo card. So 23 points at stake for our draft standings are at stake tomorrow.
Unbelievable. It's good.
We'll be chatting. We'll be chatting on Instagram and or on Twitter and all and stuff. So send us your thoughts and feelings while the show's going out. But we'll post our most recent standings. I'll post that after WrestleDream's over. Did FTD pick FTR for that one, or that one I didn't write down for some reason, or did she pick Jet Speed?
She picked not Top Flight. Jet Speed.
Okay. Cool. Well, y'all, thanks for joining us. We're gonna wrap things up. Enjoy, get rested up for an awesome night of WrestleDream. It's gonna be a long pay-per-view. I think we're gonna be in wee hours of midnight plus. So,
yep.
Good luck, everyone. And yeah, Nap City. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, Mind Runner. We'll be in touch.
Have a good one, everybody.
Good luck, everyone, for their bingo cards.
And freshly squeezed.
Stop.